Well, the Magic Celebration, people are already commenting, asking what they should get, so today we're going to be going over the best things to exchange during this event here, what you should be using those basic magic potions and advanced magic potions for. And I'm going to start off on the advanced side on this, just because there is reasons behind my madness here, but I really think the big winners here are going to be these two Mythic selection boxes. The Purple Sky Treasure Box will have Luminous Dragon, Catastrophe, and Toffee, and I don't think anybody's actually been fooled by this, but I might as well say it, that this is a selection box. You only get to pick one of the times 30 Awakened Cores out of it. In the Meowstar one, we'll have both Sphinx and Diego in it. Now, I will say this is going to be the one I'm going for. I do really like the Sphinx if you're not using it as your Awakened slot or deployment there. Something you definitely want to start doing. When you go and have the Sphinx dies, it goes and revives another one of your mounts. So essentially, you're getting 4 mounts for just having 3 of them equipped. And this is really a huge game changer when it comes to these mounts staying alive or at least tanking a lot of the damage. So that's where I'm investing into it. Diego, still not bad, but like I said, I'm a big fan of the Sphinx. Now, as far as the other one, a lot of people went for Catastrophe. It is a hard hitter, so that's a good one to go for. I also did go for Toffee. I liked the whole candy effect there. It was kind of a little bit random, but still, I like the skill set behind it. I really haven't done anything with Luminous yet, so I can't really weigh too much in on that, but just know these are going to be the 2 chests you should really be focusing on first. The other one that's a high priority on my list is going to be the S Epic Legacy box, the one where we actually get to choose the S grade in there. And no matter what, there's always an S grade for me at least that just needs to get a little bit more stacks on it, so that's going to be the other thing I'm going for. So not a bad idea if you are a beginner, don't have an IDN, or if you've been in the game for a while. This is a great way to get an extra plus level on it. These will typically give 120 shards, so if you are up there and there is a good gap, that's what's going to get added to it once you go and select one of these. And as you can already see, I grabbed the Swap Talesman. This could be used both to go and swap out a piece of S-grade gear if you have it at Mythic and you have something else of the same class sitting at Legendary. But this could also be used with that new Arcana swap too, so that's what I did. And the way it's going to work is, number one, you need to make sure that both of them at least have the Arcana on it. So like for me, for example, I went and changed my Arcana from my Sky Splitter over to my Reaper Staff, and I had to at least have it on the Reaper Staff, meaning I had to go and throw an Arcana treasure on it to get it at 0 stars. The other thing is too, that also needs to be the same class, so it's not like I can go and take my Sky Splitter and take the stars and go and throw it on a Bloody Grail. So keep that in mind if you're going to use it, but that was something I really wanted to get. Now the Hydra Poison, I would stay away from. For me at least, I can go and get this out of chest. So I don't know if that happens once you unlock it, because I did grab this the second I saw it, but head over to your chest section, click on your gem chest, you can hit the little question mark there and physically see by scrolling down if that Hydra is in there. I would say if it is, maybe skip out on this and just try to get it from pulling on those chests. The Spring Orchid, if that's something you want to go for, I really don't know a lot of people that are using this, even though it's been out for a while. This is another spot you could take it up to the next rarity. And even the Joker, this is something that I thought about going and buying all 5 of these. I got the free one from spending $10, so I guess it wasn't necessarily free. But even with going and getting 5 of these things, I could take it up to Legendary +2. Wouldn't even unlock that Mythic stat. And I'm kind of hesitant to do so because, number one, I don't know if this thing's going to be coming back anytime soon, and number 2, is it even going to show up in the pool of going and doing our wishing scrolls? So given that Mythic stat is really what I would be chasing after to go and throw this on my Whisperer build, I don't really necessarily know if I'm going to go for it. Gonna wait this one out. Maybe just call it a loss on it. I have one, so I can at least see how it performs at that, or I might even just go and grab an extra one just to get it to Legendary and test out those skills. But the S rank boxes for the gear, I'm staying away from myself. I mean, if you are like early game, you're really needing an extra weapon, maybe you just need one more to go and take it up to, say, up to Mythic to get that Legendary +3. Maybe grab it if you want to, but it just seems so much easier to just go and wait for the banner to pop up, pull it from that limited chest that you get at 180, and claim it that way. I don't really see this being a good investment, but if it comes down to it, you only have a certain amount of currency left over after getting everything else, then sure, go ahead and get it. But honestly, I think I'd rather go for that Swap Talisman down there, and even the other thing being the Blessing Scroll. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been too crazy about these blessing scrolls in the past because I'm not really too crazy about some of the skills that we get, but in a situation where now I'm getting some stars on my Dragon Girl, this thing actually becomes pretty useful with the whole Dragon Breath that gets the added stats put to it. And now with Wukong out there and having the skills for that, it might not be a bad idea either to start picking these things up, choose that mythic hero that you want to use, and start stacking some levels on it. So when that skill does pop up in the pool, it may not actually be a terrible thing to get, and it might actually be a really good thing to get. So the reason I wanted to go over the advanced exchange first is in a situation where you're just short a couple of those advanced magic potions, you can come over here and purchase, say, 10 of these things for 320 of the basic magic potions. Now, I don't really think it's wise to go and purchase all 10 of these things at, say, 3,200, but if you are a little bit short and you're trying to get one of those things that you want to grab out of that, it's not a bad idea to grab a couple. And yes, I mean, if you really, really wanted to, you do want to get one of those chests, you are just 100 short, go ahead and get it, but there's still a lot of other great things to get in here. So for here, the two big ones I would say would be that legendary Mount Core selection box. This is what I got last time. I pumped 5 of them into Laputa, and I'm actually considered going and putting another 5 into it. Get that Awaken right up there and just see how well it does. I do have that one slotted right now, and I actually seem to like it. The other one's going to be the Epic Legacy box. This is going to be all the heroes and brands that are non-S grades, and that's going to be the other one I'm going for. Never a bad idea to get an extra 120 shards on one of those brands, and this does really help out. At least for me it does, so those are the two main ones that I'm going to go for the big prizes in this section. As far as those other core selection boxes, the lesser the rarity, the weaker the actual skills are going to be out of it, and there's not really going to be a chance that you're probably going to be even slotting these things. You're more going to be going and getting these to have some increased speed added to your overall stat to try to get that attack in first. One thing I probably would stay away from though is that random hero box. You find that most players out there are pretty much going and using the Knight of the End, and then they're using their legacy hero, like the Ghost for example. So going and spending 640 of this basic magic potion is giving you a 1 in 8 chance, and you're probably going to end up with some garbage that you'll never really end up using. And just to let you know, when you go over to the wishing after you've maxed one out at Mythic +2, you can still hit copies of it. So it's not like, hey, once I get this thing, it'll narrow the results. It's still going to give you ones even if you don't need them. So for those everyday kind of items in here, I always say go for the elite packs. Might seem like not a good idea to you, but I promise you there'll be points where you'll go to upgrade something and it'll require 15 of these things. And it's always nice to have a big stash of these, and not to mention, it's also great for upgrading those legacy heroes. The lucky silver coins, as much as I preach on those, they seem to be pretty expensive in here, so I'm going to skip out on those. And I did already go through and grab all 50 of the legendary keys. That's another great thing to have. With all the money I've spent, I still don't have any of my gear at Mythic +4. So you're constantly going to need to pull gear on this, and given with all these events, kind of takes away from the gems to being able to go over there and do so. So grab some legendary keys if you got enough to do it. I'm always a fan of the inheritance books, so I typically go and grab those, and as much as I say to hang out towards the end game for those Everstones, I'm getting pretty close to it, and I'm finding that I'm needing them more and more. So debating if I should pick those up, but then as far as the other stuff like the horseshoes, the hammers, use them at your own discretion. We get these things pretty easy for the most part, but as you know, it does take a while to go and get things upgraded if you don't have these. The wishing scrolls I am going to grab. I don't know if I said that already, but as far as the meteoric iron, this is something that just absolutely kills me because I really want to get it. I have so much stuff that I could go and invest this into. We have tons and tons of copies, and this meteoric iron is never enough for what I have, but I just don't want to go and burn up all the currency I have on this to go and grab more of it to upgrade a couple of collectibles. Right now, I do have the Mount Growth event going on, so if I'm not able to hit that last final milestone, I will come over here and get some extra horseshoes just to make sure I'm claiming those free hammers. But the toughest part about this normal exchange is really going to be deciding if you want to go for the big prizes on it first or go after some of this everyday stuff. And where I am going for the big ones first, I really am tempted to just go and stock up on some of these other things because everything really is going to help inside here. So if you are going to decide to go for the big one first, that is going to be that legendary core chest and then the epic legacy box. But if you're not, you're going to go the other route, then legendary keys, inheritance books, the wishing scrolls, and those elite packs would probably be the top things I would go for, as long as you're able to hit that milestone on that Mount Growth event. Regardless, this is just what I'm going for in it. I am pretty far into the game, so let me know in the comments below what you guys are going for, and if you want to know all about this new Immortal Muramasa weapon here, or artifact, take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.